What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video with us. And it is a beautiful Saturday, April 26th, and I am actually sitting in my truck waiting for my son to finish practice for a 3 p.m. game day today. Go Georgia Bulldogs. Not really go Georgia Bulldogs. I can't really stand the Georgia Bulldogs, but go Georgia Bulldogs because that's who my son's playing for this year. So anyway, guys, let's talk about the stock market news. What's going on this weekend? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing is going on. It's quiet as can be. Matter of fact, you can maybe even hear a pin drop. You want to know why it's so quiet in the market? Because President Trump is tied up with flying and going to Pope Francis' funeral. And so there's really nothing going on. There's no tweets. The market's closed. So it's kind of a peaceful day today. But is it really? Is it really a peaceful day? It's not really a peaceful day because everybody still has an opinion, guys, right? Well, I guess, hey, I'm here. I have an opinion too. That's why I'm making a video. That's why I want to share with you guys what's going on, what I believe is going on. But more importantly, I want to share with you guys what I see happening come Monday morning. So a little bit of news I do want to share with you. And guys, I tend to go to Yahoo Finance. I go to Fox Business. Sometimes I read the Wall Street Journal. I don't like the Wall Street Journal. I think it's a lot of negative news, fake news. But sometimes they share some interesting reads, and I'm going to share with you one story specifically. But Fox Business today, let me tell you what's going on. Former Trump advisor issues dire warning over the catastrophic Former Trump advisor issues dire warning over catastrophic threat to markets. Interesting. Economist issues dire warning over the catastrophic threat to markets. The one thing that could send markets to bear status is if Republicans raise tax rates. Okay, and this is a gentleman named Stephen Moore who writes this article. Okay, and basically says that, as the markets continue to fluctuate between hot and cold, one of Donald Trump's former economic advisors basically says and is issuing caution to public officials and us, the average Americans. He says the one thing that would really send the stock market into a bear market slide would be if the Republicans agree to raise tax rates. Okay, well, I don't kind of understand that, guys, because isn't the whole battle between Donald Trump and Fed Chair Powell about reducing the tax rate, dropping the tax rate to help the American people? So yeah, I'm kind of not tracking that story, guys. But if you want to read more, Fox Business, go ahead and take a look at it. It says that Jeff Bezos-backed automaker unveils affordable EV pickup truck. Hey, guys. I drive a pickup truck. I actually have been looking at the F-150 electric. I love it. But here's what it says. For the Jeff Bezos-backed electric vehicle startup Slate Auto, it's all about the base. The company on Thursday unveiled its pickup truck that minimalists and bargain buyers alike might gravitate towards. The base model bare bones EV features a simple dashboard with knobs to control heating and air conditioning, crank windows, and a phone mount to play music. Wow, this thing sounds like it is top notch. The vehicle doesn't come equipped with infotainment system or speakers, though the latter can be added as an accessory, one of many offered by Slate. Guys, I'm going to try to throw a picture of this Slate Auto truck up on the screen. I guess if somebody's looking for an electric vehicle that has bare bones, nothing in it, maybe this is the answer. But I guess it all comes down, it depends on the price, right? Because I'm not going to give up a lot of the things I love in my truck if I go to an electric truck. I still want the infotainment system. I want, Apple CarPlay, all the, whatever the thing's called. I want all that stuff in my vehicle. I'm not, crank windows? Okay, no. I think my first car that I owned when I was like 16 years old had crank windows. I'm not going back to crank windows. I'm not going back to that. So, interesting. China is quietly caving to Trump's trade war strategy and policies. The experts are signaling, saying that Early signs are emerging that China is now caving to the U.S. and President Donald Trump on tariffs, according to one foreign policy expert. Gatestone Institute senior fellow Gordon Chang agreed there's a win for Trump after the president revealed he's spoken to China about trade tensions and the recent exemption of some U.S. goods from its 125% tariff. China is doing this, but it's not announcing it. It's just not imposing the tariffs on aviation products, industrial chemicals, and semiconductors. It's sort of like the Chinese way of doing it, Chang said on Varney and Company on Friday. Okay? That might affect the stock market Monday morning, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Positive or negative, I'm not sure. All right? Let's go to Yahoo Finance. U.S.-China ocean shipments slow dramatically amid trade Trump war. Barclays cuts Intel Corporation, INTC, and you guys know I just bought into Intel, their price target to $19, woo, amid trade war and tariff concerns. How Powell could benefit Trump as a scapegoat if the economy slumps. Trump backed off his threats to remove Powell, but the Fed chair has predicted tough decisions ahead. Opinion. Yahoo Finance. I love when they give their opinion because I don't always agree with their opinion. Trump inexplicably is replaying the Biden inflation story. Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to read into that one a little bit more. Trump's aiming for big concessions on trade. Carney warns Canada voters. How small U.S. manufacturers could be hurt by Trump's China tariff. Okay. So the news is still the same out there, guys. Everybody's still panicking. There's still all this fear-mongering. Okay? Here's what the Wall Street Journal said. Are stocks really saying the panic is over? Stocks have made back almost all of their losses since President Trump announced his badly calculated, then mostly deferred, reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd. Wow. Guess the Wall Street Journal doesn't like President Trump too much. Investors who held on might think it's panic over, but the risk is a head fake caused by a form of money illusion. Far from the rebound being a story of confidence in the U.S. returning, in fact, the dollar carried on falling. Stocks in the rest of the world have rebounded more when measured in dollar terms. Conversely, losses on U.S. stocks since Liberation Day for investors in other countries are even worse, measured in their own currencies. Okay. So, guys, you kind of get my point for the day today. It's a beautiful, quiet day in the market. You could kind of say, hey, nobody's losing any money today. But nobody's really making any money today because the stock market's closed. It's Saturday. But if you listen to the news and you fall into the news, then most people are going to end up being afraid to Monday morning make any decisions about what they're doing trading in and out of the market. Guys, I've got my long-term hold stocks, things that are in my long-term portfolio. I've mentioned them to you before. I just added one on Friday, INTC, Intel, and I'm very happy about it. It's at $20.02 per share right now. I got in at $19.95. Is there talk about it dropping to $18? Yes, there's talk about it dropping to $18. Okay? Will I drop 50 bucks? Yes, I'll drop 50 bucks. I bought 50 shares. Will it go up? Maybe in a couple weeks, and I'll make $2 a share, and I'll pull $100 out of it? Maybe. But guys, here's the thing. I'm not day trading Intel. That's not a stock that you should really be trading day as a day trader or even somewhat swing. It's a long-term portfolio stock. It's something that is going to come back later. It's going to pick back up and grow with Palantir, with NVIDIA, with, all the other big stocks that are tech-based or chip-based. So make your decisions based on doing your research and doing your education. What am I looking at right now? What am I in that I day trade every day? APLD, Applied Digital. And I'm going to jump into the chart right here and take a look at Applied Digital, and let's see what did it do on Friday. It closed on Thursday, April 24th at $4.63. It ran up and then down a little bit, hit 474, which is a new high, came down, and the market opened at 4 a.m. at $4.66. Guys, still pretty good. Remember, it had broke through all those resistance levels. Okay? Then it did perform where it dropped. Let's see, get my bottom. opened to $4.48 and closed in the market at 4 p.m., sorry. It closed at $4.70. Okay, so didn't really have a make better day, but I'm looking at several points on here, and I'm gonna run it on my computer to show you guys where there were points where it opened at 442 and you could have run it all the way up to $4.70. That's 28 cents per share, guys. 1,000 shares. That's pretty good money, pretty good profit for the day. And right now it's sitting at $4.69 when it closed at 8 o'clock. Now, here's what I want to tell you guys. Monday morning, what do I think? What's my opinion? Not financial advice. What's my opinion for Monday morning? I believe Monday morning that the stock market is going to have another day of green and another day of rally. I feel pretty confident about that. I could be wrong, okay? But based on what we're seeing, what we're hearing, understanding the news cycle, unless something totally crazy happens tonight or tomorrow with tweets, okay, on X, or something pops up on one of the news media channels, we're looking pretty good. APLD for me specifically, I'm confident is going to run up past $5. It's going to hit that $5 mark. Most stocks probably will run somewhat green because the tech stock news right now is very positive. Tuesday, what do I think is going to happen? I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a bit of a sell-off. There's still all this fear out there. We're going to see a lot of companies tend to sell off and the stock's going to come down. Guys, that's good. That's not a bad thing. Are you living in these companies? Do you own the companies? You shouldn't. If you're day trading with me, you know we're in and out the same day unless we miss an exit point, and then we're swinging it hopefully to the next day or waiting to see what happens. Me living in APLD with my $5.38 was because of earnings. I loaded up on earnings. I believed earnings was going to be a really good thing. It did run up, but I wasn't confident and comfortable with where the level was up, and then it dropped down. Okay, that's the stock market. Was it a negative for me? No, it wasn't a negative for me. Did I need that money to pay my mortgage? No, I didn't need that money to pay my mortgage. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, and I believe it's going to continue to run up. Tuesday, though, guys, please be careful. Look at what's happening Tuesday morning, pre-market, and understand it. I will be with you. I'll have a video on Monday anyway, and you'll know exactly what I'm looking at and what I believe may happen Tuesday morning from Monday night. The other one I want you guys to look at, and let's talk about what happened with it, is SoFi. SoFi is doing very well right now, guys. SoFi, I'm in at $10.87, somewhere around there, and it's sitting right now at $12.96. Have I pulled out of it? No, I haven't pulled out of it, guys. Could I have taken profit and made a pretty decent amount of money? Yeah, I could have, but I'm not. You know why? Because April 29th, Tuesday, which is funny because it may be a rough day on Tuesday, but I don't believe it's going to be a rough day for SoFi because SoFi has earnings, and they have had majorly positive earnings the last several quarters, and they're going to have another very successful quarter earnings report. Okay, guys, ran into a little bit of issue and my GoPro died. What is going on? I'm trying to get this right. Anyway, SoFi, guys, I really do strongly believe that we're going to run up on earnings. Take a look at the stock, do your research. It's going to have a very positive result. As I was just mentioning, it's had several quarters of positive results. And so I'm excited to see what Tuesday earnings happens for SoFi. Guys, we'll get into more details tomorrow, Sunday, as I actually sit down and share with you multiple stocks I'm going to be day trading starting Monday morning. And I'll show all those to you. But just wanted to drop this quick video to you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And I hope you're doing something that you really enjoy, whether with your family or out solo. Do something outside if you can. It's beautiful where I am in Florida. And like I said, my son's game's about to start. So I'm excited to get out there and watch the Georgia Bulldogs take another win. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload another video. And I am Josh, your average day trader. Peace out.